Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Well, today I want to review about the whole material in Methodology Study Islam course. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Salma Kamelia with student ID 2042406. I'm an English Education Department from Faculty Tarbiyah and Teacher Training. Today, I would like to summarize the material from the Methodology of Islamic Studies course based on each group presentation during this semester. This presentation review the main ideas from every meeting to help us remember the important concept that we have learned. I hope this summary is useful and easy to understand. Now let's begin with the first meeting. I prepared the PowerPoint to make it easier. And now, the next slide is meeting 1 from grade 1, Introduction of Methodology Islamic Studies. And there, in this meeting, before we learn about methodology study, Islamic studies more deeply, I would like to introduce itself about the definition, function, and then the purpose why the college need to study this methodology Islamic studies. So in the first meeting, group 1 explained the intersection of this methodology of Islamic studies. They discuss the meaning of method, methodology, and Islamic studies. By definition of a method is a way to do something, while methodology is the study of method used to gain knowledge. In Islamic studies, methodology helps us to understand Islam in a systematic, scientific, and objective way. The group also explained that Islam can be studied from different perspectives. Besides studying the Quran and Hadith, we can also study Islamic history and society. Therefore, Islamic studies is a broad field that combines a religious knowledge with scientific approach. And then in the next slide is third meeting, because I'm sorry, because unfortunately there was no presentation material available for group 2 because there are no material from group 2. I don't know why. So there is no summary for this meeting. So let's begin in the third meeting about approach used in Islamic studies. Okay, I'm sorry for the error of this device. And we next in the third meeting. At the third meeting, group third discuss about the approach used in Islamic studies. They explain that Islam cannot be understood through only one approach. Researchers may use technological, historical, sociological, anthropological, and psychological, then philosophical approach depending on the topic being studied. Each approach has a different focus. From example, like the theological approach studies Islamic belief, while the historical approach explains the development of Islam throughout history. Then the sociological approach examines the relationship between Islam and society. And the anthropological approach studies Islam in relation to culture. The group conclude that using different approach help researchers gain a more complete and balanced understanding of Islam. Almost like people have their own perspective, right? Islam in Indonesia and then in the other country is really that different. So that's why we must to respect about the different perspective for them about Islam. And we next to the fourth meeting. It is about characteristic and dimension of Islam. In the fourth meeting, group 4 discussed the characteristic and dimension of Islam. They explained that Islam is a complete religion that provides guidance for all aspects of life. Islam teaches not only worship, but also morality, education, economic, politics, and social responsibility. The group also introduced the dimension of Islam, including faith, like akidah, ibadah, akhlak, and then muamalah, These dimensions are closely connected and should be practiced together in daily life. Another important point was that Islam encouraged balance between spiritual and worldly life. Muslims are expected to worship Allah while also making positive contribution to society. From this meeting, I learned that Islam is a comprehensive way to live that guides people toward personal and social well-being. I was like, Islam not just recognize your spiritual, but also your life, your economy, how do you live with society. Islam also, oh, I recognize that because it is how to live spiritually, and then your daily life is balanced, but also bring the Islam. And the next meeting is fifth meeting. Islam as a cultural phenomenon. Yeah, Islam is not just a spiritual, but also a cultural. Like what? They explain like Islam is not only a religion, but also a human culture. When Islam spread to different countries, it interacted with local tradition and custom. As a result, every Muslim society has its own cultural characteristic while still following the basic teaching of Islam. And the group 5 also explained that culture includes language, art, tradition, clothing, architecture, and social value. Islam respects local culture as long as it does not go against the Quran and Sunnah. In Indonesia, you can see this through Islamic traditions such as Maulid, Tahlilan, and then Bursuro, Islamic music, and other local custom. From this meeting, I learned that Islam and culture have a close relationship. Muslims can prefer their local culture while maintaining the fundamental values of Islam. Yeah, it was like Islam in every country is different about the culture. Like in the Arabic, they are prefer to wearing like I don't know how to call it jubah. Yeah, but in Indonesia, we prefer for men, for a guy is wearing sarung, and the Muslim wearing muslimah, busana Muslim. But in Arabic, the woman wearing abaya, we call it abaya. Yeah, it was not like you're not Islam because you're not dressed like Arabic. No, Islam has their own culture. But the goal is one: to close to cover their aura. Yes, it was like cultural. And next meeting, it is a sixth meeting. It's about method in Islamic studies. And the meeting group 6 explained that method in Islamic studies. They explained that methods are very important because they help researchers collect information, analyze data, and solve problems scientifically. A good method produces reliable and objective results. The group introduced several methods used in Islamic studies, such as historical method, philosophical method, sociological, anthropological. Also, it was like a second meeting. Yeah, but it used to researchers. They also emphasized that researchers should understand the strengths and limitation of each method before conducting research. For this meeting, I learned that selecting the appropriate research method is an important step is producing quality research in Islamic studies. I was like, many researchers not just see Islamic spiritually, but also they learn about the anthropology, about the history, about the what is it? Philosophical. I'm sorry. Yeah, they are see the Islamic from many perspectives, from many point of view, to make a conclusion. Because yeah, we can judge Islam from one perspective because it's really different and have many view of them. And next we end this seven meeting. We have religious research and research on religion. It's like two categories, research. Yeah. They explain that religious research focuses on the teaching of religion, such as Quran, Hadith, Islamic law, and theology. This type of research helps to understand Islamic teaching more deeply. On the other hand, research on religion studies. Religion is a social phenomenon. It examines how people practice their religion, how people influence society, and how religious communities interact with cultural and social change. This group concluded that both of type of research are important. Religious research help us to understand Islamic teaching, while research on religious help us understand the role of religion in society. It was like religious research, yeah, it's just research in the spiritual way. How Islam from you learn Islam from Quran, from Hadith, from theology, yeah, just in spiritual way. But research on religion is a different way. It's in academic way to help us understand why people has different salat, like NU they are doing kunut. Why they are doing kunut? Why Muhammadiyah not doing kunut? Why NU doing tahlilan and why Muhammadiyah not doing it? Is like see the different communication, different interact Islamic between society like this. And then in the eighth meeting, it explained about models of tafsir research. It explained that tafsir research is scientific effort to understand the meaning of the Quran. Muslim scholars have developed different research models to explain Quranic verse clearly and accurately. This group introduced four main methods of the tafsir. The tahlil method explained first one by one detail. The ijmali method gives a brief and general explanation. The muqarran method compares different interpretations from various scholars. Finally, and the fourth, the maudi method studies one specific topic of collected or related verse from the Quran. You know, like Quran have a different writing, right? Like Usmani, and then I don't know, like Quran in Indonesia and in the Egypt is really different about the harokat, about the alphabet also is different. So that's why it's need method to research about tafsir Quran. You cannot just know the translate about the what is it? What the sentence like Iqra is read it. No, you can make a conclude that easy, but you need to the researchers need to method to understand why Iqra is the meaning is read it like that. It's very different than about research. I can explain this clearly. I'm sorry. And then we go to 9 meeting. It explains about method of hadith research. That before is Quran and then the hadith. It explains hadith is the second primary source of Islamic teaching after the Quran. Therefore, Muslims need to make sure that every hadith is authentic before using it as a guidance. The group explained that hadith research focuses on two important parts. The first is sanad, and the second is matan. What is it? Sanad is like its credibility from the researchers. It's like this ulama Z is learning from ulama X, and the ulama X learning from ulama Y, and then until the Sahabah Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But the matan we doing with logically that hadith is not really different from Al-Quran. Like Al-Quran is not explain how to use salah, just give instruction you must be salah, but we don't know how to practice of the salah, right? So hadith must be need the matan to practice the salah itself. It's very you need to knowledge, and then you need to sanad to research it. It's not you can doing it easily, but must be ulama can do it this way. Muslim scholars developed a strict method to preserve the authenticity of the Prophet Muhammad saying and action. Yeah. And the next is 10 meeting. Ijtihad as a search and method of Islamic studies. So ijtihad means like making a serious intellectual effort to find Islam legal solution for the problem that not directly explained in the Quran and Hadith. Is the before in the meeting for like 8 and 9 is about Al-Quran and Hadith, and then how is something in Islam that not explained it in Al-Quran and Hadith, we need to ijtihad. What is ijtihad? Ijtihad is another way to understand Al-Quran and Hadith, but it also ijtihad just doing by ulama. There are many ijtihad like Al-Quran, Hadith, ijma, qiyas, and another way I can explain what is it. It's very many way to understand because it to well it to answer the new it's to answer the new problem with a new solution, but also based on the Al-Quran. Okay, you can tell the point. The important because society continues to change. New issue like technology, finance, my design, and environmental is very different in the Rasulullah era, right? So we need to something method to answer this problem with a new solution also, but based on the Al-Quran. Okay, not everyone can perform ijtihad. Okay, only requalified scholar who have deeply knowledge in Quran, Hadith, Arabic, Islam. Yeah, just like ulama, we can say like that. And the next in the 11th group is Islam in the era of globalization. It explains globalization has changed many aspects of human life, including communication, education, business, technology. So today people can easily access information from all over the world. The group discussed both the positive and negative effect of the globalization. On one hand, globalization provides better access to education and knowledge, but on the other hand, it also brings cultural change, misinformation, and moral challenge. They emphasize that Muslims should take advantage of technology wisely while maintaining Islamic values such as honesty, responsibility, and respect for others. From this meeting, already the globalization shall be seen as opportunity to spread positive Islamic value, improve in knowledge. It is how Islam must be grow. No. Islam can answer the modern solution also, like meeting before, because globalization is like Islam. You can learn Islam from Ustad, from school, from the Islamic school like Diniyah, such as that. But in this globalization, you can learn Islam from your internet, from the handphone, from the social media. But we don't know the credibility, the authentic about the Islam itself, because we don't know who delivered this material, who is this delivered the da'wah. We don't know the standard, we don't know the matter, we just know how they are, what they say. So it's like abstract, right? So that's why we can see globalization is an opportunity for Islam to change their way, but also keep their standard and maintain. And the 12th meeting, it explained that Islam continues to develop together with change in society, whether Muslims face many new issues, including digital technology, social media, environmental problems, and gender equality, and multicultural communities. The Quran explained that Islam scholars continue to study this issue by using the Quran, Hadith, and appropriate research method. They also emphasize the importance of critical thinking, dialogue, and cooperation in solving broader problems. It showed that Islam is a dynamic religion that can respond to new challenges without changing its basic teaching. I learned that Muslims should always be open to learning while remaining committed to Islamic principle. Yeah, it's like meeting before that Islam to continue to develop together with change in society. We can answer any problem, but keep in the Islam way. Yeah. Okay. In the last meeting is from group 13. In the final meeting, presented the last topic of the course. It is They review the main lesson that we have learned throughout this semester. They emphasize that studying Islam requires both faith and scientific methods. Islamic studies are not only about memorizing a religious text, but also about understanding history, culture, society, and human life. The group also reminds us that knowledge should be practiced in everyday life. By using proper research method, we can better understand Islamic teaching and contribute positively to our community. From this final meeting, I learned that Islamic studies encourage to become lifelong learners who think critically, act widely, and practice Islam value in our daily life. Okay. Oh, I heard the conclusion of the whole meeting about methodology of Islamic study is I understand that methodology of Islamic is important knowledge that teach us how to study Islam a scientific and systematic way. Yeah, during this semester I learned about Islamic methodology, different research approach, religion and culture, research method, tafsir, hadith, ijtihad, globalization, and contemporary Islam issues. Each topic helped me understand Islam from different perspectives and improve my critical thinking skill. I also realized that Islamic teaching are relevant to modern life and can provide solution to many challenges in today's world. Okay, overall, this course has broadened my knowledge and strengthened my understanding of Islam. Okay, thank you for that. Let me to thank you to my friends as typing up, and then from my lecture of the methodology of Islamic studies, I like your way to teach us logically. Yeah, because now I just know like we learn Islam based on the ustad, like spiritually. That's very very abstract for me, like berkah, like takdir. You know, it's abstract way, but you can explain it logically that I can accept that, and Islam is unique. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rido, for teaching us in this semester. I hope we can meet in the next semester. Thank you. I hope this Mary help us to remember the important lesson from the methodology of Islamic Studies course. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.